Yes, I give thanks. You are now in tune on the one, the force itself at this time. Welcome to Christadelphia. This is Black Sun. Though I try to find the answers to all the questions they ask, I know it's impossible to go living through the past. They keep them down. But the good news is they can't keep them down no longer. There's a natural mystic blowing through the air. If you listen carefully, now you will hear. This could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. Many more will have to suffer. Many more will have to die. Don't ask me why. I say things are not the way they used to be. Won't tell no lie. You know, this is from Robert Nesta Marley, Natural Mystic. I would love for you guys to really listen to this tune and break it down esoterically, but from your perspective, from your perception. Don't think like me. You know, here at Christadelphia, we promote free thinking, but reasoning again with you guys on this subject matter of Zion and Shambhala. The place that they call Shambhala is known in multiple different cultures. Under different names. I'm not going to go through all the different names of the place because, like I reasoned with you guys before, sometimes people get too caught up in names and terminologies. And with the confusion of names and terminologies, we kind of step away from the essence of that which we were naming in the first place. So, we all know about Thoth and Hermes and the ones who came to teach us how to write and how to communicate, and these Mercurian deities who showed man how to, not just write, but, mathematics and all these great things. That's good. But know this, by the time we needed to speak and communicate verbally, we had already fell because we were once telepathic at one point. And us being fallen etheric beings who fell down to this third density and are trapped in a cycle, we are telepathic beings. So when you get to a certain degree, you don't get too caught up in terminologies and names, but it is good to study the etymologies of words so that you can have a broader understanding of what these words mean. But also know that the fact that we're even speaking has really mean, that we are using a lower form of communication. So the gods and goddesses and the ancestors speak to us telepathically. See? Now, the divine speaks to us through symbols, through numbers, or what we perceive to be numbers, which is a whole nother story. But I have to give big ups to the brother Sanchez. Brother Sanchez, I give props to the brother because he got a lot of balls. He got a lot of kahunas. And I respect him for going against mainstream thought. And as I and my spirit is very what's the word? I'm the same way. I am one who has always been one to go against mainstream thought. And because of that type of spirit, I've never been truly 100% embraced within any organization, any movement, or any group of collective thought because I question mainstream thought. So I am always analyzing and questioning. And because of that, I've been an outcast, but I've traveled through many different schools of thought and built with many different organizations. But I've always stepped out of the box of, whatever dogma or whatever the group think was. So I've been a loner. So Brother Sanchez put out a lecture on YouTube called, I believe it's 777 and Revelations, Donald Trump is the last president. Something on that line. And it's amazing to me because I like Brother Sanchez because, he's one of those individuals that help I realize that I wasn't crazy, and him and brothers like Bobby Hemmett and Brother Panic and those people who are a little bit different from your average orthodox so-called conscious folks, I normally gravitate towards people who are like I, against the grain, questioners, rebels, because I'm a rebel, not just any type of rebel. I'm a soul rebel. See? So, enough about me, enough about Brother Sanchez. I don't ride anyone's bandwagon. Like I say, I don't even ride my own bandwagon. So I'm not here to promote anybody else's work. But I do have to, give references to where you can find other people saying the same thing or similar things. But I also have to once again remind you to be a free thinker. Anyway, so in this particular video, he talks about Donald Trump being the last president. Seen? So, and I think it's in the title of the actual YouTube clip. It's 777 in Revelation, Donald Trump is the last president. I'm not here to speak a bunch of politics, and I'm not here to speak about government conspiracy, but the boy is right on time with his information on numerology. And the Buddha gained enlightenment under the Bodhi tree. See? You see the lotus representing the flat plane that we are living on, and the tree of life, which we see in multiple different cultures rising up behind the Buddha. But in the Buddha school of thought, it's not known as the tree of life. It's called the Bodhi tree. In multiple different cultures, there is some type of tree connected to what we call the divine. But anyway, Shambhala, or what we call Shambhala, or what multiple cultures was giving reference to, which we call Zion, is where we come from. And I know I've said this 1,000 times, guys, but I must keep hammering nails into this subject matter because, once again, when we think about Zion, we think about a lot of these Baptist churches with the name Zion within it. I was once a member in my youth at a church called Love Zion Baptist Church. And Love Zion Baptist Church is the church, and that's also my foundation. Way before my awakening period or reawakening period, I was raised in Love Zion, and the title of the church or the name of the church itself is what always kept me on a quest to seek and to know, because I used to ask the adults about Zion and what was Zion. And so I've heard many different answers, and pretty much no one really has gave me a satisfactory answer for that question. So I've been on a quest. I've always been on this quest since a youth. I've been Rasta, you know. So, like I said before, in the Rastafari community, a lot of focused has been on the land of Ethiopia. But I am here to remind you, not teach you or tell you, because once again, this is about remembrance. You know, when you watch The Lion King, you see the monkey took Simba to the water, and Mufasa appeared in the water, and he told him to remember. He didn't give him a big, deep metaphysical lecture. He just say, remember. Remember who you are. You know? And that was it. And he rode off in a cloud. Also, the movie Lion King was my first, I guess, Rasta experience. Because ever since I've seen that movie as a youth, I've always connected the lion with the divine in my own eyes. So, anyway, that's a whole nother story. I'm not here to tell you my life story. But once again, I'm just reminding you, I'm here to ask you to check out Brother Sanchez's works on 777 in Revelation, but also challenging you to step outside of mainstream thought and have enough balls to have organic thoughts. And these days, people don't even have organic thought. Everything is kind of pretty much put out there for you. Anyway, Bob Marley said this could be the first trumpet, might as well be the last. They are saying now that the symbolism within Trump's name represents the trumpet. And Donald Trump, at this point, or at this time, represents numerically the last president. So he would represent the last trumpet. So if this is the code within inside of their symbolism, and people are breaking this code now through using Kabbalah and numerology to crack these codes, which Brother Ampu, the astrologer who put out Philadelphia Exposed, Ben dropped those jewels back in the day. But people are now catching on, and so I give thanks. Also, check out Brother Ampu's work, and also check out Philadelphia Exposed. Even though it's an old video, it's still relevant. Understand that Ethiopia is the rebirth of civilization. It's not the birth of civilization. It's the birth of civilization after certain cataclysms. There was a time before then, but Shambhala is Zion, and that's where we're from. So, for those who know, Rasta is from creation. Islam, Hotep, Shalom. You already know. We're going to build again.